Alright, here's some Antique Mall deals. Left to right, we got an amber unembossed jug with a handle for $20, and unembossed milk, no paint, for $10, and an unembossed screw cap flask for $10. Alright, here is the next group. We got a green Anchor Hocking bicentennial bottle from probably 1970 something for $15, a Fanta for $20, a labeled Druggist without the original label for $13, and another bicentennial Anchor Hocking bottle from the 1970s for $15, and an unembossed flask without the original label for $10. Next up is a group of ambers. So we're going to start with the back row first, and we have a amber med or flask for $9.50. So I guess the best part of this deal is that since the label is gone, if you are a medicine collector, you can pretend that it's a medicine bottle. And if you are a flask collector, you can pretend that it's a flask, because there's no label on it anymore, so you can pretend that it is whatever you want it to be. Next up is an amber cider, vinegar, or I don't know what bottle. Again, no original label, for $11.50. Then to the right of it is a half-gallon, I don't know, I guess Pyrex jug for $18.50. And to the right of that, which is the bottle on the far right, there is a fleecy white bottle for $11. Front row. So we have a stubby beer bottle without the original label for $7.50. So why would you go to one of the hundreds of thousands of dumps to pick one of those up off the ground when you could buy it off this person? Then there's some kind of jar, I don't know what, because it's one of them rare variants without the original label for $8.50. Okay, this group stuff is wearing me out. Let's try something single. Here is an RC Cola bottle for $10. And here's one of them rare amber Certo bottles for $10 also. Next up, we have several flasks. These are the rare historical flasks. Oh, I mean bottles, because the seller has them described as bottles. But either way, you can own this trio for the bargain price of $67.50. Wow, this one here must be even rarer, because it is $49.95. It's a commemorative bottle from probably 1970 something, so it's got some serious age to it there. And here's a milk bottle for you with the faded label look. That way you all know it's legit. And it has the bargain price of $35. And if that one is too much for you, there are cheaper options such as this half pint milk with no label at all for $9. Or we have this one. It also has no label, but you're going to have to pay a few extra dollars for it because it's a larger size. And if you don't like milk bottles, we have this 1950s ketchup bottle for the low price of $10. But wait, we can go even cheaper. Here's an old jar for $5. Alright, I know what you're thinking. Well, where's all the quality stuff? Alright, well, here it is. Here's the best find of the day. It is an amber mold-blown blob top bottle. Now, you could tell that $26.50 is a bargain price for a name like that. So don't miss out on this great deal here. And for those who don't like old bottles, such as the previous one, we have new bottles for 8 times the price of similar looking old bottles that are 100 years older than these. And finally, if you want to remember your last trip to the convenience store, well, you are in luck. There are 2 bottles that were drank out earlier this month from one. The seller even helped you do all the hard work by emptying out the contents for you. What's up, everyone? Thanks for watching my video. I know it was a different kind of video today, but, well, the truth is, there's so many people who are looking for good dig spots and good creeks to walk right now that I feel like I need to be more secretive and kind of lay low on posting a lot of videos now. So I will post some of them, but others, I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of iffy because random people are starting to show up at some places that I used to never see anyone. So yeah, I kind of gotta be a little more careful now. Anyhow, I figured I'd give my opinion on what these should be worth. So, for example, these 3 here, $1 each. There's nothing really great about them. They're just kind of run-of-the-mill 1940 to now bottles. So for this group here, probably 3 on the green commemorative, 3 on the Fanta because it's just a regular run-of-the-mill pop bottle, nothing fancy, no city name. $1 on the druggist, no name on it, and it's machine made, so probably won't turn purple. $1 on the clear commemorative bicentennial type of bottle. The antique mall was full of them, so they must be pretty common. And $1 on the flask because those are really common. Back row, left to right, $1 on the med or flask, no name. $1 on the cider or vinegar bottle. Probably would go with 5 on the Pyrex jug. And $3 seems to be fair for the fleecy white. For the front row, those stubby beers are super common. There's trillions of them out there. You can find in the dumps all over the place. So I would say maybe $0.25 for a crafter and maybe $0.25 for the jar as well. For the RC Cola, it's a pretty common ACL, no city name, so a couple bucks. Certos are very commonly found, so probably just $1 on this one. I am not an expert on reproductions, but I do know that there's not a huge demand for them outside of certain fruit jar reproductions, so I would say $3 each on these. Especially considering the fact that if you bought all 4 of them, including the one in the back, you'd have enough to buy an actual historic flask in mint condition. This next one is a commemorative and it's clear, so probably $1. While this milk bottle here is a legit milk bottle, the problem is the price they are asking for it is the price that a mint condition one would go for. So in reality, it's more like $5 because the label is as faded as it is. Milks with the labels completely gone, unless they are old enough to turn purple, are $1 each, if that even. So ketchups made after 1920 have no collector value unless they have a name embossed, and this one doesn't, so maybe $0.25 to a crafter since it is clean. The jar, on the other hand, is even worse because there's millions of them laying on top of the ground in pretty much every dump after 1940. So, I mean, maybe $0.05 to a crafter. While it is true that, for the most part, a bottle with the blob top is more valuable and more sought after than a bottle with the crown top, there is always exceptions. And the main one is that if the blob top is unembossed, then chances are it's not going to be worth that much. Probably $1 to $5 on average. So I'd put this bottle at $3 unless it had a really rare manufacturer mark. These next two are modern. Someone likely bought them from Hobby Lobby, so maybe 50 cents each for a crafter. These next two are currently being sold today for, I don't know, $1.50 or $2 with the contents and all, because convenience stores, Big Lots, and candy stores still sell them today. So in my opinion, they shouldn't even be in there for sale at all, and they should be in the recycling bin. I do not know why many of these antique dealers will not do a little bit of research on their bottles, because they are likely paying $150 plus just to rent a booth in an antique mall, because it would be better for them to ask a fair price for them and move them rather than have them sit there for years and years taking up space.